All right. Had a great time doing the live lesson on section 8.6. Hopefully, everybody did a good job on that homework. Have a good understanding of graphing using slope intercept form. Today, we're going to expand on that and write equations in slope intercept form given different pieces of information. All right, we'll break it down into a couple days for section 8.7. Today, we're going to look at writing equations given the slope and y-intercept, and write an equation given a graph. Okay, we will also look at how to do that if we're just given 2 points from the line. Um, just a reminder, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where the slope is the m value and the y-intercept is the b. And then remember, the y-intercept is where graph crosses the y-axis, and the x value is always 0, right? When we found intercepts back in section 8.3, we looked at plugging in 0 for y, finding the x-intercept, and then plugging in 0 for x to find the y-intercept, okay? When we write an equation, we only need the y-intercept, all right, along with the slope. So the first um, type of information we're given is we are going to write an equation given the slope and the y-intercept. So when we write an equation in slope-intercept form, I need to fill in a number for the slope and a number for the y-intercept. So in the first one, it gives me the slope of 3, so I plug that in for m, and it gives me the y-intercept of -8. Okay, now if I wanted to find another point on the line, right, I could plug a value in for x. For example, if I plug a 1 in for x, right, so when x is 1, 3 times 1 is 3 minus 8 is -5. So there's a point that's on the line. All right, today we're just writing the equation, all right, but we can use this equation to find other points. We looked at graphing these in section 8.6, so we can also graph once we're given this equation. All right, but for today we're just writing the equation. So here, y, plug in my value for slope, so 0x plus 5. Now, it's okay to write your equation like this, but remember 0 times anything is just 0. So the answer key would have that written equals 5. And number 3, so y equals -1/2 is my slope, and my y-intercept is 0. All right. And remember, if you add 0, it doesn't change anything. So the answer key is just going to have 1/2 x. Excuse me, -1/2 x. So if I'm given the slope and I'm given a y-intercept, it's easy to write an equation. I just fill those respective values in for m and b, and I have my equation. Now, from a graph, okay, remember there's two things we need. We need the slope and we need the y-intercept. So I can look at this graph and see where it crosses, right? That's my y-intercept, and here it's at +1. So I know it's going to be y equals something x plus 1. Okay, now I got to find my slope. So I have this where it crosses at a corner, and here it crosses at a corner. So I can count. I go up 1, 2, so my rise is 2, and my over is 1. So my slope is 2 over 1x plus the intercept of 1. Now, remember, your answer key will just have it 2x plus 1. Either one of these is correct, but they'll write it in simplest form, which is just 2x plus 1. All right, so again, we need m and we need b, right? B is easy to find on a graph because it's where does it cross? Here it crosses at 0. Now I need to find another corner way down here. Crosses, right? So it crosses right in the corner there, so I can find my slope, rise down 1, 2, 3. So that's -3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 3 over 4 is my slope. So writing my equation, y equals negative 3 over 4x. I can write plus 0, right? But remember, an answer key, when you add 0, it doesn't change anything. So I should just leave that as y equals negative 3/4 x. All right, one more example here. So y-intercept here is down at -1. Point that crosses at a corner, right, would be right here. I can see that it goes up 0 and over 1, right, which means my slope is 0. Okay, flat line, no rise, no fall, just a flat horizontal line. So my equation, right, I could write 0x, but that doesn't affect the equation at all. It's just going to be y equals -1, right? It's just y equals the y-intercept, right? Because all of these values, y is -1, does not matter what x is. All right, and then if you review, right, changing to slope-intercept form, right, which means to get y by itself. Talked about this on Monday. All right, I want you to take a minute, pause the video here, and see if you can write these in slope-intercept form. So it's y equals mx plus b. All right, so let's see, right? We'll walk through these together. So to get y by itself here, right, I'm going to start by subtracting 2x to both sides, right? Because 2x minus 2x. And then that would leave me with y equals 5 minus 2x, right? Now, that's completely fine to leave your answer like this. However, an answer key will just put the x term first, right? Negative 2x and a positive 5 for the intercept. Here's what the answer key would have. Either one is okay. Right, number 2, we're going to have an extra step here. So we'll start with adding the 4x. Right, so that cancels that out. So instead of y, right, I have 3y over here. This part's important. I have to remember to divide everything by 3. Right, so that cancels. That leaves me with y. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Right, 4 divided by 3 would give me a decimal, so I'm going to leave that in fraction form. Right, and that's okay to leave my answer. Right, I have an intercept of 4, a slope of rise 4, run 3. But remember, the answer key would be y equals 4 over 3x plus 4. Okay, either one's fine. Just know when you're checking your work, it'll rearrange that. Here, should have started by subtracting 3x. Right, and I'm going to divide everything by -5. So that leaves me with y equals -10 divided by -5 is +2. -3 over -5 is decimal, so right, 2 negatives make a positive 3/5. Had a little mess up there. Oops, let me try to erase that. Right, positive 3/5 x. Okay, again, right, answer key is going to write that as 3/5 x plus 2. All right, here the y is on the right side, and that's fine. I can leave that there. I'm just going to add 3/4 x to the other side, add it over here. So that would leave me with 3/4 x plus 6 equals y, right? And that's fine, right? As an answer key, you can just flip that around. Y equals 3/4 x plus 6, right? Slope of 3/4, y-intercept of +6. So 8-7, day 1 practice. Okay, a few problems starting on page 407. You can try those on a separate sheet. And then when you're finished, check your work with the answer key. If you have questions, please let me know, and we'll talk to you soon.